Hey guys, this is Nalini here. Welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make these beautiful flower coasters. As you can see, there are three different types of coasters I'm showing you here, but they are all the same. Uh, this one and this one are the same, only the difference is the hook size and the yarn size. So if you take a bigger size yarn or a thicker yarn and with a bigger hook, then you'll get this size. Now for this one I have used 4 number yarn and 5 millimeter crochet hook, and this one is a 4-ply yarn which I have used, and I have used 4 millimeter hook for this, and this is the same. The only difference is I have outlined this one with single crochet row. So as you can see, they all look very pretty. So whatever yarn you have, you can use it. Only the difference will be the difference in size. So let's get started with the tutorial, and if you like this tutorial, then do consider subscribing, like, comment and share it with your friends. And if you decide to make these, then I would love to see them, so you can send it to me on my Instagram. The link will be in the description below, and I will definitely give you a shout out there. So let's get started. So the materials which we'll be needing is 3 types of colors and crochet hook. So now for this one I'm using a 4 millimeter crochet hook. This one is size 3 lightweight yarn. The hook size mentioned is 4.5, and this is a 4-ply yarn, and even this one I think this is a size 4, but I'm gonna use 4 millimeter for this entire project, and I'll be using a darning needle to weave in the ends, and of course a thread cutter or a pair of scissors. So let's get started with the tutorial. So we're going to start by making a magic circle or a magic ring. So this is how I make my magic ring. So just hold your yarn as you do, and with the help of your hook, just twist your yarn like this, pinch it here, bring the loop up, yarn over and pull through, and your magic circle is done. So magic circle is nothing but a loose slip knot. So now we are going to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And now we're going to make 17 double crochets into this magic ring. So when you make the double crochets, please make sure that you yarn or crochet, you include the tail and the loop when you crochet. I'll just show you how. So to make the double crochets, we yarn over, insert your hook into the center of the circle and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this way we have to include the tail also, because later we'll be needing to pull the tail to close the circle. So 1 double crochet is done. I'll show you 2 more. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, then again yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this way we are going to make 17 double crochets total. So I have made 3, so we'll just continue to make our double crochets. So I'm done making my 17 double crochets, and now we can just pull the tail to close the circle. So just hold your tail end and just pull it slowly. Make sure that your work doesn't get twisted, and then you can just pull the tail like this, and your circle will get closed. And now we can just insert a hook into the first stitch which we made, or on the top of chain 3. So the first stitch always comes before your first double crochet, or whatever stitch you're making. Suppose this is the stitch, then one stitch before that is your first stitch. So this is the stitch. So you can just insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull it through the working loop. And we have closed the circle over here. So now we can just chain 1 and cut it. So our circle is done. If you need, you can just pull the yarn tail a bit more to close it properly. And now we can just weave in the center tail. So we just gonna use our darning needle and just pass the tail through some stitches like this, because otherwise while we are crocheting this will keep bothering. It'll keep coming in between your work. So you can just weave in the tail ends. I think this much will be enough. And this tail we don't need to, because we'll be weaving it together when we are working for the next round. So now we're going to use our second color. So I'm gonna use my second color. So to change your color, you just need to hold your yarn like this, and then you can just insert your hook anywhere, but I'll just insert it into the very first stitch from where we finished our row. So just insert your hook into that one and grab the second color and pull it up, and then you can just chain 1. If it's a thicker yarn, you can just drop the tail and chain 1, but since it's a thinner yarn, so I have done like this. I have taken both the loops, and now make 2 chains, 1 and 2. So this will be counted as your first double crochet. And now we're going to make next 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So insert your hook. Make sure to hold both the yarn tails along with your work and make your double crochet. So I have made this in the next stitch, not in the same stitch, remember that. And now chain 2, 1 and 2. Now in the next stitch you're going to make 1 double crochet. Then in the next stitch 1 double crochet. Again chain 2. Now in the next stitch 1 double crochet. Then in the next stitch 1 double crochet. Chain 2. In the next stitch 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch 1 double crochet. So this is the set which we'll be using in this pattern. So it goes like 2 double crochets in the next stitches, and then chain 2 and then 2 double crochet in the next stitches. So it will be 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, chain 2, then 1 double crochet and 1 double. We don't need to skip any stitch here. Only the thing is we are making 2 chains over here, and then in each and every stitch we are going to make one double crochet. So as you can see, we have made 1 double crochet, then the next stitch 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, like that. So this is the pattern which you'll be following through the entire round. So I'll just finish this and meet you here. And I've come to the end of the round, and I have made my last 2 double crochets, and now we'll just make a last chain 2 and join it with the slip stitch in the first stitch. So as I told you, the first stitch comes on top of your chain 2 or chain 3, whichever you make, or before your first stitch. Like if you've made a double crochet, so it will come before that. So this one is your first stitch. So just insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop and pass it through your working loop like this, and then you can just chain 1 and cut your yarn. So our second round is done over here. So if you can see, there are, or I'll just hold it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 9 two chain spaces are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So you can check yours also. And now we're going to change the color. So the next color I'm using is a blue one. So I'm just gonna hold it like this as I done in the previous round. And now you have to start your work from the chain space. So you can choose any chain space. So I'm just gonna go into this one and join your color. So since this is a thinner yarn, I'll just directly make 1 chain and then I'll drop the tail. And now chain 2, 1 and 2. And now the same thing we are going to do, like this set of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, but we are going to do this in this chain space. So this is counted as your first double crochet, the chain 2. And now just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So your 2 double crochets are done. Chain 2, then again make 2 double crochets. So this is the first double crochet, sorry about that, and this is the second double crochet. And now we are going to insert a hook directly into the next chain space, and we are going to make the same set into the next chain space, that is 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So you can just hold the yarn tails as you crochet along. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain space which comes after these 2 double crochets, and make your set. So here are my 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then again you make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Sorry, there's a train going or passing by, so you might hear it in the background. So again we are going for the next chain space. So directly insert your hook into that chain space and make your double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then again 2 double crochet. These all go into 1 chain space. So we're just gonna follow this pattern all the way around. So you finish this and meet me in the end. So I've come to the end of the round and I have made my last set. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. And now you can just end the round by making a slip stitch in the first stitch, which is on top of your chain 2 or before your first double crochet. Like this. And as we have crocheted along the tail, so there will be very less or a very small tail hanging out, so you can just go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so now we are ready for our next round, so we don't need to change color. So now what we are going to do is, after making a slip stitch, we're directly going to make 8 double crochets into this chain 2 space. Now we're going to use 2 spaces. One is chain 2 space to make the petal, as you can see over here. So we are going to make 8 double crochets like this into this chain space, and we are going to make a slip stitch into this space. So this is the space which we skipped these 2 double crochets to make the sets. So one chain space, one is a chain space which we are using to make 8 double crochets, and then we are going to close that petal by making a slip stitch into this gap above the chain 2 double crochets of the previous round. So let's start. So I'm going to make 8 double crochets. I'm not going to chain here. After slip stitch directly, I'm going into this chain space. So 8 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you feel that there's no space, you can just push your stitches towards your right side and then you'll get the space. So I had made 6, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7 and 8. So I've made my 8 double crochets, and now after this 2 double crochets of the previous round, there's this gap here. So I'm gonna slip stitch into this gap like this, and again the same, we are going to make 8 double crochets in the next round. And I finished making my 8 double crochets, and again into this gap after the 2 double crochets I'm gonna make a slip stitch. So this is the pattern which we are going to follow. Now after making the slip stitch into the next chain 2 space, I'm gonna make 8 double crochets, and then in this gap I'm going to slip stitch. So 8 double crochets, slip stitch, 8 double crochets, slip stitch. So you can just finish this pattern. So I'll also finish this work and meet you here. And I've come to the end of the round, and I've made my last set of 8 double crochets, and I'm gonna slip stitch into the slip stitch which was made before, so this one. So just make your final slip stitch like this, and if you want you can finish your doily making, or sorry, the coaster making here itself. But if you want to make a different color border like this, then we'll go for the next round. So if you want to finish this work over here, then you can just chain one and cut the yarn, or you can, if you want to, anyway I'm gonna change my color over here, so I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna chain one over here. I'm sorry, I said I to chain one. So I've made my slip stitch, so I'll just cut the yarn and pull the tail. And now what you can do is just you can use this tail and the first stitch which you made, just insert your needle under that and bring your tail behind this. So this I'm telling for the people who want to finish their coaster here. So if you want a neater finish, you can do it like this, and then you can just weave your tail end into this one. So I'll just show you. So just go through this stitch and pass your yarn through these stitches like this, and then just leave the first loop which is nearer to your yarn tail, and from the second one again just go back. Now your yarn tail is nice and secure, so you can just cut the yarn off. And if you're going to make the outline, then you don't need to do this. You can just hold your yarn tail along when you're making your next round. So I think I'll use yellow color for the outline, because I was a little divided between these two colors, but I think the yellow will look more vibrant, so I'm going to use yellow color. So now we're going to join our yellow color. So what we are going to do in this step, we're not going to join as usual. We are going to make our slip knot, and we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch. Oops. So we're not going to insert into the slip stitch, but the first stitch. So first stitch, as I told you, comes before your first double crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, and make your single crochet directly like this. And now if you want, you can just hold the tail along with your work. So here what we're going to do is, now I've made a single crochet, so in the next one I'm going to make 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. Then into the next stitch 1 single crochet, then into the next 2 single crochets, in the next one, then in the next one 2, then in the next one 1 single crochet, and into the last one we are going to make 1 single crochet, not 2. So make your 1 single crochet into this, and here you can just cut the tail off. So why we have made 1 single crochet over here? Because if we make 2 single crochet over here, then it will become very crowded and it will start curling up. So we have made a 1 single crochet here. Now we are going to skip the slip stitch and directly we are going into the first stitch over here. and make your single crochet. Now go for the next one and make 2 single crochets, and then the same thing, 2 we have made. Now in the next one 1, in the next one 2, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, and in the last one we are not going to make 2, we are going to make 1 single crochet. Then we are going to skip the slip stitch and directly go to the first stitch and make your 1 single crochet, and then the pattern will go like this. So now we have made our 1 single crochet. So in the next stitch we are going to make 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2, 1, 2, 1. Then here it is supposed to be 2, but we'll be making only 1 single crochet, and then we'll skip the slip stitch, and into the first stitch of the next petal we are going to make 1 single crochet, then continued by 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Then again in the last one, do not make 2 single crochets, just make 1 single crochet here and then 1 single crochet here. So just continue the pattern like this, and I've finished my entire round, and this was the last single crochet which I made in the last stitch. And now we're just going to join into the first stitch which we made here, as you can see. So just make a slip stitch into that stitch, and now you can just cut your yarn and remove your yarn like this. Then with the help of your tapestry needle or darning needle, as I did in the previous round, this is your first stitch, so a stitch before that. So just insert your hook needle under that and get it towards the back side of your work. And now we can just weave this tail end into these stitches of the same color. So just insert your hook, the needle into these stitches and just weave in that tail end. So this much is done, but if you want to secure it more, just leave your first loop here and then again go through the stitches, go back a few stitches, and now you can just cut the yarn. And here our beautiful coaster is made, but as you can see, you can find that the edges are curling it a bit. So that's not an issue, you can just block it, or you can just use steam iron as I have used in these, because even these were curled up like this, a little bit curled up like this. But after using the steam iron, as you can see, the work will be quite flat and beautiful. So we have finished making our coaster, a beautiful coaster. So if you like the tutorial, then do consider subscribing, like, comment and share. And if you decide to make this, then I would love to see it. So you can send me the pictures of it on my Instagram. The link, as I told you in the intro, will be in the description box. So do send me the pictures of it and I'll give you a shout out there. So until our next tutorial, bye bye.